Christmas cards, that marketplace learning to show them what they could achieve.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of those, that marketplace, which is the whole point of us teaching is to create our future global citizens, is to create students who will take an active role in society. And by doing those Christmas cards through that marketplace, it allowed them to see value in what they were doing. It allowed them to have that connection between school and home. It allowed them to see that home then also had that next pathway, so they were sharing it with family members, and for a lot of families with kids with high needs who are either have an intellectual disability or are really highly funded, their life revolves around what they can't do often, and they get really stuck in what the limitations are.
Yeah.
Some families are amazing in seeing that as a gift and what can they do differently. But what you did through your marketplace with the Christmas cards and with all of the things that you do that are tangible, they can take home, it's sharing that excitement that this could be a pathway for them to be that active member. So whether it's going to end up them creating something when they go to Minda to work, or they live in assisted care, they've got this hobby even that could be something that's really life-giving. So for some of them it's drawing, or for some of them it's working on a computer, or for some of them it's just that photography. Like I'm thinking back to like one of the boys who was in my year 12 class, like to allow his modifications and what he could do, and instead of doing a folio he was allowed to use photos as a storytelling, so that actually it's showing his story through the lens, quite literally, of a camera rather than seeing it on paper. So you're actually capturing their soul in a way that is it's part of that journey we talk about lifelong learning, and we talk about our students and supporting them in making pathways into their future. But for many of these students, their future is unknown because the supports aren't necessarily there. So for you to make those authentic connections with families, to give them that other lens, it could be an avenue that they would not even have thought to go down, I think it's so powerful. And it's such a positive, life-giving moment for the families, because they're seeing their child again as a gifted child who can do something that they never even thought they could
do.
Because why else would you then stand in an art room and be surrounded by colour and then get excited by it? Like, so there's things that you wouldn't even think about that you just do because it's an exposure to something that then is a hook to something else, and it's using that strength that you've then shone a light on to then guide them to that next step. So each step's that stepping stone that you do so well, that you manage to get them on a completely different tangent that you might not necessarily even plan to start with, but because that's then their interest, you'll go with them. You'd never bring them back because that was your original goal. And so the families, I know that the families in MAC really appreciate the fact that you allow them to shine in their own unique way and use that 100 languages of children, that they don't have to do it one way, that there isn't one way to fit all, and that the families are also shown a different path too, which I think is such a powerful thing that you do.